So what's going on, y'all? We are doing an interview. I'm gonna let y'all introduce yourself because I messed the names up.
All right, greetings, family. All praise to the Most High Yahuwah. I am known as the Traveling Israelite. Also known, that's my YouTube family, know me as the Traveling Israelite. My Hebrew family know me as Mikael. And my Ghanaian family know me as Nana Nyame the First.
Hello family, all praises, all praises. I am Kezia, but I'm known here as Nana Adwoa Ampoma the First.
So we're gonna start right on in. What year? Okay, I'm gonna ask you this. When did you fall in love with God?
When did we fall in love with God?
I guess it was the time when we said we was gonna come. That was,
Yeah, because we started research back in 2011 or 2012.
yeah, but then after that we didn't
Yeah, I
do
started
nothing.
getting sick and having surgeries.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
So
you
this is 2020 or July.
yeah.
you came in. What year was that?
January
29, 2021.
Yeah, January 2021.
And then y'all stayed at the beachfront. I remember seeing the videos.
Yeah, first home.
Beach Resort.
Yeah, on Old Beach Resort. Great
And-
place, great family.
And what was that experience like?
Oh, it was beautiful. You know, you chilling on the beach, got coconut trees all over the place, you got the places looking like the nice huts and stuff
Yes.
on there. You know, we took walks on the beach, went down to the fishing community that's down on the beach strip and stuff.
Breakfast was good too. Breakfast.
They
was good.
They became,
Butter.
they were like family. You know, you needed your clothes. You know, at the time, the people that clean your room, if you needed your clothes washed or whatever, they'll do that. And you pay them something and stuff. So the experience was really good.
So both of y'all was coming from Miami,
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Dade County.
Mm-hmm.
So you were doing what?
Housewife.
Well, I was a housewife
Okay.
at that time.
And then you were doing.
Maintenance mechanic
Okay.
for Miami-Dade County.
So to come from working Monday through Friday and come to the beach in Ghana with the sun. I mean, y'all was used to the sun in Miami, but being in the beachfront and being able to relax. What was the first couple of days like?
Oh, good, man. Relaxing, good. Like, woo, woo. It was like, this is overdue.
Oh yes.
It was overdue
Hallelujah.
man. Had no complaints,
No.
man. I ain't miss a beat.
No complaints at all. It's like to me, when I got here and got off that plane, I don't know, it just felt like whatever it was
A lift or
it was
something?
just a lift.
Like it's over.
Yeah.
And the beginning is.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we just hit the ground running, like I said, we was the missing pieces of the puzzle here.
So the beachfront was 31 days,
33.
33.
Yes.
So
So,
days before we can find an apartment.
oh, okay. Did you run into you meet a lot of people that you still keep in contact with, or?
Yeah, that's like the beachfront, Alamabu on Beach Resort. That's our first family.
That's our first family.
First family gonna we at least go at least once a month or every 2 months.
Yeah.
Go there, chill there, eat there, enjoy the company of our people and stuff.
Yeah, because
You got new employees and stuff,
but the owner, he was real good to us.
Mhm.
He would sit and have dinner with us, and no, it's on me. We kind of have drinks,
Whatever-
we just sit
whatever
there
he
and had a
did
good
there.
time. And I tell you, when we got ready to leave, he cut our bill in half.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh yes.
So it went from
So
100 a
$100
night. So it went from 100 a night to 50 a night.
Yes.
Mm,
Mm-hmm.
Cut it in half.
for 33 days.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you said when y'all came, you came with 20,000.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So when that was what year?
2021.
So 2021, we are now in 2025.
Well, 4 years ago.
Would you still say somebody can come with 20,000?
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Now you go from the beachfront to
Apartment.
the apartment. How did you end up finding the apartment?
Some people was helping us look for it and they found it for us and stuff.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So when we found that, it was a 3-bedroom, fully furnished. At that time, 2,000 CDs a month.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. So So at that time, it was like $200 a month.
Yeah.
Okay.
Three bedroom, 3 bath.
So
kitchen, dining room.
you
know,
can-
Pantry, everything.
You can never find that in the U.S.
Oh, no.
Nowhere.
Not no
Not
200
that,
a month.
right?
Yeah.
Not no 200 a month.
So how long did you stay in the apartment?
Over a year. A
Yeah,
year and a half.
a year and a half before we moved to our house.
How far was the apartment from the beach?
Oh, it wasn't far. It was like maybe if you was driving, probably 5 minutes.
Oh, okay, okay.
It wasn't that
So,
far from the
and
beach.
what area was this in?
That was in Cape Coast South,
Okay.
in an area called CNC. We was on North Orland, on top of the mountain.
So you say during the time y'all was at the apartment, that's when you found this land that you own now?
No, before we got in the apartment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we got this land, like, say we came, got into the resort, and we got this probably that same week or the next week and stuff.
When y'all first landed?
Oh, yes.
This was already, matter of fact, we already knew about the land before we got here, because we had a Zoom meeting.
Okay.
So we was already coming for the land, so that was already set and dry.
So actually y'all are like one of the first pioneers of a sable.
No, it's other people that was here before us.
So you just, Mr. Lynn, I know he was like the first.
Yeah, Mr. Lynn was the first to
Build.
move on the land. Yeah.
Okay.
But he wasn't. But there was other people that had already purchased before he did.
Okay. Just nobody had made no action.
Right.
Right. He was the first one.
He was the first one.
To get in, build his home, and move out here.
So the purchase of the land, like, okay, now when we hear about selling land, you hear it from either you, a couple other people from Agendum, or
City designer.
who was selling land back then?
Here, come out for him.
Yeah.
This all is part of the program of people returning back to Ghana. So this was like the local villagers here and the government, came together with the paramount chief.
Okay.
And they pushed this Pan-African village.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I didn't even know nothing about it until we had that Zoom meeting in 2020. About they were doing free land, but I didn't know about the year of return, none of that until we got here.
Okay.
In 2021. So with that, that's what we was doing, just the Pan-African village, way before the city of design, way before Virginia started doing everything started here in the Pan-African village.
So I can imagine when y'all first came here, it was bush everywhere.
Oh, yes it was.
Yeah. That it was. That little pathway you see me come in now, about with the bench at. That way everybody used to have to come through and stuff. But that was a little path that the farmers had already made and stuff. So now we got it wide open. But that path before we came, they used to get, when it rained, it was flooded, so you couldn't even get in. Because it was more down. But as time went over, and people started coming more and more, they just kept packing it time after time until they got to a certain point. We were flooded no more.
So even coming here, did y'all see the vision of the house? You can see it clear.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna tell y'all now.
The only thing, we had to make a pathway
Yeah.
to get here. So we had to do all the clearing right here to get to.
Yeah, we had to make our own road, look at the map, where it was, the road supposed to be, and we cut right through. See, some people do that, they just cut, they go straight to their plot, cutting through other people's plot, but no, we stayed on the
We
road.
stayed on the road and made that road.
We wasn't waiting for nobody else, 'cause we would have waited for other people, what you see and ain't nobody building.
Yeah.
We'd still been in our house.
Right.
So, man, I ain't got time waiting on nobody else and stuff.
So we had to just get.
So we would have had to pay the money we had to pay to make that road, this and that.
So I'm gonna switch speeds a little bit and go back. So March 13th, y'all had your 25th anniversary. So it sounds like to me, once y'all got together, y'all not only know how some people, they say, you become one, but it's rare that you meet people or a couple when it comes to moving to the continent that are as one as y'all are. Because usually it's one person that has to be convinced or shown that this is was the right choice. But it sounded like y'all was on the same accord from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because, you know, first we were supposed to come and visit,
Mm-hmm.
but because of COVID and all of that, and he was like, he looked at me, like, Mom, if you leave, we ain't coming back. I said, okay, let's just pack up, we can pack up, sell, we can sell and get out. I ready.
So wait a minute. You didn't have no hesitation, no second thoughts, no.
No.
So my king say move, it's time to move.
My master said, hey, let's go, let's go. I'm ready. So we sold what we could sell, and what we couldn't sell, we gave it away.
How was the family taking all that?
Oh, my family, it was cool.
His family was cool. But when I told my family, yeah. You know,
That's why sometimes you gotta move in silence.
yeah. So I was like, you know what, let's just go, let's get our ticket. Let's get out of here. Once we get here, I call, let them know we're here, and I'm not coming back.
Wow.
And they was like, oh, you don't know nobody there, this and that. And I'm like, hey, that's just like moving from state to state.
Yeah, you don't
You
know
don't know nobody, but you're moving.
So were you ever conflicted, or did you have like that remorse in there? No. You?
Oh no, I tell people, hey, this was a move from the Most High. We trusted, we believed, you know, that it was Him moving us through His Spirit, and we went out there. We stepped out on faith. I always tell people we did the Abraham move. He told Abraham to go. Abraham knew where he was going, but he trusted Him and he went anyway. And that's what we did and stuff. And I tell people, if you saying that it's the Most High moving, it's one thing that He's moving. It's another thing if you're moving yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So if you say it's Him, then you gotta believe and trust that it's Him and make that move. You can't be dippy dabbling and start having doubts and I don't know this and that. And then that right there gonna mess up everything because now you're wavering. So even if you did move, but you moved on a waiver, you wasn't sure this and that, you're gonna have a lot of issues because that's when the enemy gonna step in and really mess with you.
So when I hear y'all both talking, you hear like I don't hear any bad stories. Any like was there a struggle when getting here, or do you believe that the Most High made the way smooth or made the road smooth?
It wasn't. Well, it wasn't. I wouldn't say it was smooth, but it was what it was meant to be. So I say like we missed our flight because of the time schedule on the ticket. It didn't specify whether it was AM or PM. So that was one of the obstacles and stuff.
They didn't know if it was AM or PM, but it was supposed to be AM. And we missed the flight.
So then after that, we scheduled another flight. That was during COVID time, and the guy who was there at that time wanted us to go do another COVID test. I'm old, and this one had expired, this and that. But the Most High worked that out.
He was showing us favor.
He showed us favor that
the whole time.
the manager came and he said, "Don't worry about it. This and that." They got us on the plane.
First he
we
said,
made our flight.
First he
we
said,
made
you're
our
gonna
way
have to
over and
pay
stuff.
you're gonna have to pay for one ticket. He's like, okay, so we gave him the card. And he started going on the computer and doing what he had to do, and he's like, you know what, here, go ahead.
Don't worry
Like, follow the
So we
thing.
didn't have to.
Again.
So we
You
didn't
have
have
to
to
pay.
pay. Because usually when you miss your flight or whatever, you make you pay again. So we didn't have to pay and stuff. So we got here. I mean, we got through that part. We got here, and I know you were talking about difficult time. We met big people, like I told you, different business partners. Stuff didn't go right. We lost money on that. But it wasn't. But I looked at it all plain. Because even though we had those issues with those certain people, but those certain people was put there for a certain reason. But those certain people got us to certain areas that we needed. So we had a bad experience with that, but at the same time, they gave us connection that will help us out in the long run. And we say that's how the Most High works. He used bad people to get us in a good position.
Let's go back. When he was trying to get the ticket. This is how good the Father is. And when you're living for Him, and you're living right, He gonna step in and He gonna show out. We was talking with this lady over the phone, explaining to her what
After
happened
we had missed the flight.
when we missed the flight.
Mm-hmm.
She was trying to get us to pay. And for
Pay
some
for the
reason,
ticket.
whatever card we used, it would not go through. And we know we had the money.
The money was there, and it would not go through. The Most High didn't let it go through.
He did not let it go through.
He
And
already.
then when we went to the airport that morning and said, well,
This is what happened.
This is what this lady gave us. She gave us a confirmation number that wasn't even a confirmation. For our tickets. Because when we told him, I said, this is the confirmation she gave us, and she told us we could come here.
And pay.
And when he looked, he said, there's nothing in here. There's no confirmation, there's no, ticket to you guys in. But she was trying to make us pay. And every card we gave 3 cards, and we knew it was money. None of them went through. And she's like, you know what, it's okay, let me give you this confirmation, and then y'all just take it to the airport. And give them the confirmation. Gave the man the confirmation, there was no.
So, and it turned out, like I say, that man, the head manager came in, and he looked, they don't worry about it. Got us on the flight. So, in the midst of everything, it all turned out sweet.
Yes, it did.
Bitter with the sweet and stuff. So that's why I say we don't talk about it much and stuff. But yeah, we had little issues, but the little issue was that we had that issue, but at the same time, that issue connected us. Matter of fact, I say the issue started. How it started us to get, to build our own house before we much, because we was talking about doing construction, right, with that first business partner, and we had issues and we lost money, dealing with him and stuff. But yet it got us going because of people seeing us building our home. That's how we started, building homes for other people, because Tiffany saw us and asked us, and that's pretty much how the construction company really took off after that. But it was because of that individual wanted to do it, but yet Yahuwah used him to get us going, even though it had that little issue. And then after that, we moved to another business partner, had a little issue. But from that, things worked out, and it just kept moving. And it got better and better. Each time it got better and better.
So everything that the devil meant for bad.
It turned out good.
It turned out.
Even all the way to our student and stuff. Having issues with that. People
People
didn't want us to get in school, so they would, send out messages to the Paramount chief, tell, this and this, that, scan the poll, man, and this and that. But the Most High worked that out. The villagers stood up for us, they went to bat for us, everything. So I said,
if it's for us, it's going to be for us.
Regardless.
I said, if the Most High, when He's for us, who will be against us? So I told him, I said, we're not going to worry about this. I said, let's go and support the other. It was 2 young men that was getting
they're getting promoted in something.
I don't know, military or police, I don't know. But they was, so I was like, let's go and support them. So I called and I asked them what color, whatever should be wear. They said all white. I said, okay, we're gonna go get the white. We'll just support them. Next thing you know, they called to say, oh, your student is back on.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there was some of the diasporas. Oh no, don't let this man be in school because he's too controversial. But when he was doing YouTube, you know how you show things to people. You're supposed to show everybody everything.
Yeah.
The good and the bad.
Yeah.
Not just the good.
Yeah.
Because if you do that, then that
giving
means
people false information.
So now you got people looking through rose-colored glasses when they say roses really smell like.
So through it all, we got past, we got over it, and it all been a blessing. But it's just that any trial or tribulation that you got to come meet, but especially if you already know, like you said, it's the Most High. If He got you going, because think about it. When Israel left Egypt, they didn't just walk in, they had to fight. Even though He promised them the land, it's still in the way going there, they still had to go through something.
Right.
But the thing was they gonna trust in Him to get to where He said and promised that.
It's
So that's pretty much what it is, in life, and we trust in Him, and we know without a shadow of a doubt that He said He gonna do this and do that and stuff, and that's what it is. So we can't let these little speed bumps scare us. That's all it is, distraction.
Yeah.
So I tell people, hey, don't lose your faith. Don't do like Peter did when he seen the master out there on the water. He said, hey, I want to come out there. He said, come on, man. Peter walking, heard a little noise, look back, got distracted, he started sinking. So,
you know what's so funny that you brought that story up, because it's a guy that did a rap about it. And while you was talking, that was on my spirit when he was rapping about Peter. That's but so you go from getting here, going through the ticket issue, getting here anyway, 33 days at the beach. You leave the beach, you go to the apartment, but you already had the land within the first 2 weeks of being here. When did the building start? And how did you find who was gonna build your house?
I think the building started in June.
June
Yeah.
2021.
Yeah. Oh, being right here, we went straight to being the first business partner. We went straight to the village.
Yeah.
We're looking for the first locals that's close by. So that's what it's all about, helping and providing jobs for them and stuff. That's what we went at, and that's how I got started. And from there, later on, when the chief saw what we were doing, and for the school, this and that, that's when he presented to me, about being development chief. He came to me.
So wait a minute, we're gonna go back a little bit. How did it start? So was y'all helping the school out before you even moved in here, or it was after the house was built?
It wasn't before the house was built.
Before the house
started, but yeah, after we got the road.
How did that start?
What?
Helping the school out.
That happened. That started with the second business partner that we was ahead. That started with them and stuff. But the first business partner, the one who suggested that we get the NGO, but we got it, but we never activated it. We went through. We did all the paperwork and stuff, but we hadn't got to that point to start doing it. So we were still on the house. But by the time that, went south,
Faded to the
and then we ended up with the second partnership with the other people. Then that's when we started getting more into it, because by that time, we was pretty much, everything was coming up, with the home and stuff. So that's how we got started with started doing stuff for the school.
So what did y'all just happen to go by the school one day, or somebody told y'all about the school? Or?
Because of our workers.
Our workers and the business partners.
They're from the village.
Okay, so their kids were going to school.
Yes.
And then you heard about it through them, and then decided to go
We went out
visit.
there and
We went out there.
met
The headmaster.
And what was that first encounter with the school and the kids like?
Oh, it was beautiful.
It was beautiful, but at the same time, just to see,
The condition.
the conditions and the government
School,
not really doing anything, so yeah.
So that first visit it snatched your heart,
Yes.
Yeah.
and then what was the first thing y'all did for school?
Got them these books here, these they work books.
Okay.
We got them and some pencils. That's how we started off.
That's how we started out, and then we started buying shoes, because some of them didn't have shoes.
So this was even before the YouTube. Like y'all was doing this on your own. It wasn't like
Yeah, we was doing, yeah.
when y'all started, y'all was doing it on your own. It wasn't like people was already contributing.
Right.
Yeah, y'all was doing out the kindness of your heart.
Yeah, we did it on our
Yeah.
own.
So then, when you
Somebody, I don't know who, somebody gave us the idea. Said, hey, y'all got the NGO, put it up. Helping us. But it was not the time having an NGO and all that kind of stuff. Somebody said, hey, advertise it, put it up there on YouTube, on your social media, let them know you got this. I said, oh, okay, so we had a little guidance.
Cause y'all was doing, I know you was doing the YouTube before you even got here.
Right.
I saw a couple of videos of you doing a big barbecue
and
yeah. So once you got in with the school and start helping the school, it became more than just lending a helping hand. It became almost like
They became our family.
Yeah.
Not you.
Yeah. We started doing the NGO, it really started, in other words, we started broadening our NGO far as what we wanted to do. But the main thing we were doing is starting with the village. Doing it with the school first. Then we moved with the village, because the village is in the middle of the school is in the middle of the village. Then we started doing the stuff for the village, the borehole, and getting donations, all this kind of stuff. We started broadening, and then after that, we started sending people to hairdresser school, sewing school, heavy equipment and stuff. So that, it started,
branching out. So a lot of this is stuff. I mean, when you go on camera, you have people that, I know in the Bible it says if you do something, you do it in secret. Because if you brag about it, that's your blessing, be able to brag about it.
Yeah.
But a lot of the stuff that you're saying, people don't even see the underside, that this child that went to this school, this child went here.
And a lot of stuff we don't want to video.
Yeah.
But the stuff we video
is to bring people in.
Get help and that support.
So, with that said, do you feel that when people come here, those are things that they need to do. Like when other people are moving to Ghana or moving into these different villages or even next to them, do you believe it's a God-given duty that's what they should be doing, is giving back to the community?
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, they should be involved. I think they should get involved.
If they led to do it, if they led to do it, I mean, that's just us.
Yeah.
Because we love children, we love people, so that's just us.
So I tell our local, our brothers and sisters that, hey, listen here, everybody is not the same, so don't think everybody that you see going to have the same mannerism, the same attitude, the
same heart.
Yeah. So don't look for that. So don't be disappointed if you get something opposite from us and stuff. That's just them. Just like with y'all, I tell them, just like with y'all, everybody ain't the same and stuff.
Yeah.
You got those that looking out for their own interests, or you're looking out or looking to do better, get assistance or whatever and stuff. So that's what we, explain, to the people and stuff. But I figure if you want to be living within the mix of the locals and stuff, that you shouldn't be
by yourself, keeping everything.
Yeah. You should get to know who your neighbors is and stuff. I say you don't move from the state. That's how it was in the state. Everybody just nobody, you don't even know who your neighbor is next to you and stuff. But here, I'll tell you, the locals, like I say, they've been having our back, especially our village and stuff. I mean, really having our back.
So with that said too, is I think it's a misconception of a lot of diaspora in that when they come here, they believe that that's how you're gonna survive, by having enough diaspora and coming together so we have each other. When really it should be all of us reaching out to get to know the people, the locals that's here.
Because we got to have an understanding of each other. They got a culture, we got a culture and stuff. And once we learn each other's culture, we can understand each other better. And the only way we're gonna have that, we gotta have communication, have a sit down, have a cookout or whatever, but give each other our story and this and that. And that's how we get to learn from each other, because a lot of things is just that they don't know. Like we don't know and they don't know. They thinking one thing because they see the television and stuff, and they think that's what it is and that's how he is. And
wait a minute, you say what is it called?
Television.
Tell a lie?
Yeah, television, that's what it is.
So I know I do also notice like with Sean with the Blairs, also with you guys, that we as Americans, or even coming from any other country, we don't realize that becoming closer or becoming friends with Ghanaians is really a different type of friendship than it is in America.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up, because even with that, you have to be very careful now. Like I say, just because everybody's smiling, they all smiling for a different reason. Some of them looking for a come up. So you gotta be careful. You gotta be able to discern that spirit.
Right.
So you're gonna have some of them that's gonna be true, and you're gonna have some of them that's just out to get what they can get and keep you moving and stuff. So these are the things. That's why I say, you gotta weigh your pros and cons. It's the same like in the States and stuff. So I always tell people that, because I say with you, and the most people that do get scammed are the ones doing something that they wouldn't do in the States, but they come here doing it. So we say if you want to be on your best, don't do what you wouldn't do in the States and stuff. Good and well, if you was in the States, you would say, oh, here with my money, go ahead and do what you got to do.
Yeah.
So if you ain't doing it in the States, don't do that.
Right.
Don't do that.
So we come from the beach to the apartment to building here. From the beginning of the build to the end of the build, how long did it take?
It was almost a year, so I think it was probably about 9 months.
And who did who designed the house?
I did.
Okay. And with the design of the house, was it a certain style you was looking for, or?
Not really, not really. It was pretty much like, like kind of, basic and stuff. Nothing really, overboard and stuff.
You say basic, y'all. Just a basic home, give me a basic. Sign me up for 2 basic homes.
He did everything. He wanted to surprise me, so he did everything.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So by the time you saw the house, everything was done, or in
No, it was when I came out. Everything was up except the roof, and
Okay.
when nothing else was in. When I came out, and he was like, "Okay, Mom, you see how it is?" He brought me. I said, "Yeah, I said, okay."
So when did you had somebody else build your house? Did you end up taking over?
That was my company.
Oh, it was your company from the beginning.
Building our
Okay.
house,
You just said you went through a couple of partners before you found decided to do it on your own.
Yeah, without the partnership thing, yeah.
Yeah. So what was that
But I
like?
kept my saying, you know, for the most part, pretty much
Same crew.
Same guys. Out of the most, it was except for the first crew that did the wall, got rid of them and stuff. But after that, everybody else was, you know, from the village and stuff.
So then you, after a year, the house was ready. So you spent most of your days here building.
Yeah, from the
Going back and forth. So you get in, finally the house is ready. You move in.
Yeah, we moved in before it was completed.
Okay.
Everything on that side was completed. You know, when you go through the other door, they go to all the bedrooms, all the way to the kitchen. All that was did. This right here.
So we had all this closed off.
Yeah, this was
Okay.
closed
So
off.
y'all was just going around the backside.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so
And
you
you would
know.
go out this door over here.
Go out that door over
Everything
there.
was- all this.
See, that's the good thing about living in Ghana. You can get your house all the way done and move in.
Okay.
Because, you know, you can't do that in the States. Because they say, oh, it's not safe and blah, blah, blah. But yeah, here you get it to living.
You could get one room done.
It's
You
moving.
can live in, yeah.
So even with me being here for only 2 weeks, I think a lot of us come on vacation and we thinking to ourselves, okay, if I leave America, I come here, wherever I'm staying, what do I do with my days? Am I just gonna be sleeping in all the time? Am I just gonna go out and, you know, venture out and see what I'm gonna do? What end up being like the daily routine? Was it the business and the nonprofit keep y'all busy?
Say it again. Nonprofit what?
He said, was it the business and the nonprofit keeping us busy?
Since we started, but even before that, we was, like I said, we was busy. You know, apartment hunting and stuff. You know, going back and forth from Alamabu all the way back to Cape and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, even after that, you know, once we got into the apartment,
But yeah, definitely that most
you know, even though
people
we
are
was
busy.
building the house, we still had time. We went out, we did walks, especially in the area where we were staying. So, I mean, we just kept busy.
Kept busy doing little things. You know, like you say. Then when people would come and visit that year, people came and visit us. Some other brothers and sisters came from the they were living in Tanzania. Yeah, they came, but they're from the States, but they were living in Tanzania. Came over, visited us, stayed for a couple of weeks. Some more came from California, stayed with us. It's at the apartment now. But we moved here, so.
And some brought land here, and
So have you seen in this time, y'all been here now for how many years?
5 years.
5 years.
I mean 4 years.
4 years. Y'all have seen a lot of people come and go.
Yes. That we seen because we tell people just because you get a lot of CDs for your dollar, count them CDs as if they was dollars. When the price say 100 CDs, just look at it as if it was $100 and stuff. So people was, you know, doing unwise things, spending money, and ended up broke and had to go back.
like for instance,
Came here still thinking they was on vacation and spending a while and doing this and that. A lot of people end up having to go back because
like
it wasn't no joke.
I would let people know, and I have said some, you know, to other friends that come here or family that come listen. Don't, because I used to say, oh, if they say, oh, this is
$100,
if
100
they say this
CDs.
is 50 CDs, and I'm like, oh.
Oh, that number $4 or
Oh, that
$5.
number $4 or $5, okay. Oh, 100, oh, that number $10, okay, but doing that, we see us going back to this ATM, getting more CDs. I'm like, okay, Father, I see.
So-
No, I got to look at this as CDs, not because we're from the US. And I'm looking like, oh, okay, oh, this ain't nothing but $3. give them the CD.
So get that U.S. money out your mind.
Yes.
You a Ghanaian now.
Do
So
it like
you look
this.
at CDs.
Put 50 CDs in your hand. Put $50 in your hand. And you say, oh, the 50 CDs. Oh, it ain't nothing but $5. So in your mind, it's just $5. So you get a 50 CD. Now you ain't got a 50 CD. But if you give them $5 out of that $50, guess what? You got $45 still in your hand. But look, over here, the CD's gone. So
Yeah, and I'm
do
like,
math.
no, and that took me only like 4 days. I'm like, okay, no, let me stop this, cause this ain't
Yeah.
a week. I said, no, this is.
CDs go fast.
But we was going back to church, going back to the ATM. Like, oh, yeah, let me stop this right now.
So besides overspending or zealous spending with,
That would be, people be zealous spending.
yeah. So if you shop like a local
That's right.
and you move around like a local,
Your money will go long.
go a lot longer.
Uh-huh. And then also, it depends on, as far as, commodities in there. Now, when it comes to rent, depending on where you gonna stay, you gonna pay. If you want luxury, you gonna pay for it.
Yeah. So if you're going towards the crowd,
Yeah.
you may have to get some blood.
Yeah. That's right there. I'll be back. Continue.
All right. So what would you say is like something you would advise newcomers?
As far as,
You want to pause?
yes,